good day. So this morning, I would like to give a tutorial video regarding on the advanced skills. The things that we were going to tackle is regarding the if function and if nested functions. Okay, so to start with, we're going to open our spreadsheet here. So we're done with each lookup and also VLOOKUP. Now, we are identifying its operator symbols. So again, to my student from Elpidio Quirino and the rest of the students who are interested in this kind of this topic, so stand by and relax. Okay, so again, so these are the worksheet that I'm going to discuss. So first, ang ating mga operators here. So kung makikita natin yung symbol, and this is the equivalent explanation of this. So when we say equal sign, so it is compared to the other value. So equal to, kailangan the number which is referring to the other number must be equal. If it is not equal, then it falls into false. So, yung ating isang greater than symbol, yan, this is greater than, test whether the values is greater than in a certain value or not. So, yan. And another value is here, less than. So, this less than is the test whether the value is less than certain value or not. So, we will check mamaya after this particular explanations. Another thing, we have these two operator symbols, but the things here, it's either of the two. Kasi sinasabi dito, or. So, greater than or equal. So, any number comparing to a certain number which is greater than or equal, so it falls into true. Basta may isa na nag-qualify doon sa particular indicators na greater or equal. Another thing, we have this is less than or equal. So the test whether the value is less than or equal to the certain value being compared. So pag yan ay isa of one of these are really correctly compared, so it falls into true. So another thing, we have this not equal, so the symbol must be greater than and less than. So let's go. So this is the common example. We will try to check whether the formula is being true or false. So assume that this is the value A and this is the value B. So if we try to locate the cell reference, this is H, what we call H3. Kung makikita natin, this is H3 and this is I3. So 1, 2, 3, I3. So these are the value that we were going to compare whether this is true or false. Okay, first example. So equal sign tayo first. We will compare this one, H3. Use the operator symbol which is equal. So equal to letter B. So we will try to see it if that is correct. Are they equal? So of course, the statement will be false because the two value A and B are not equal. Okay. So, another. So, ito yung susunod na example. So, equal sign. We will choose to click first the L3. Then, write the operator symbol here which is greater than. So, then, click the second value that we were trying to compare. Value A which is H3. So, what will be the result? Is it L3 is greater than to H3? Of course, L3 is greater than H3. Then the result must be true. Yan, that is how to really evaluate the outcomes by using this kind of operators. Another thing, we were going to put an equal sign as the start of our formula. Then we will click H3 here, then use the operator less than. So we were going to put less than here and click this one. So what will be the result? H3 is less than to L3. Is that correct? So if you say yes, then that is true because H3 is less than compared to B3. Again, these two indicators, one of these two, if the value of this one of these two comparing indicators will correct, then it falls to true. But if the two operator symbols were not really complied with the numbers that we were comparing to, will falls into false. Okay, let's start. H3 is greater than. Dito na tayo sa greater than or equal. So H3 is greater than or equal to B value B. So what will be the result? Is it greater than or equal to value B? Of course, the answer must be false because 85 is not greater than or even equal to 97. Okay, and next step, so we have this less than or equal. So we were going to put first the L3, then we will put the operator symbol which is less than or equal. So it is L3 is less than or equal to H3 or a value. The result is false. Bakit? The value of B is not less than of value A, which is 97 is greater than. Okay? So, another thing. So, we have another equal sign here. And we will put H3 here. Then, we put not equal. Sign not equal. So, what will be the result if not equal to this number? So, is it true or false? The answer is true, because these two values are not really equal. So upon using these particular operators, we can now predict the outcomes or the result. But of course, by having this formula, if you have certain thousands of things need to be computed, then we need to make a formula here. So do not forget these particular operators. This can be the prime symbols that we were going to use in answering the if function. Okay, if there's no question, we will proceed to if functions. Okay, so this if functions here, may mga sagot na, so we will try to erase this one. Okay, so in a certain school, we have this passing rate, 75. So during examination, so a student must have this a 75 passing rate out of 100 item to be taken. Example, we have 25 math, 25 English, 25 science, and of course 25 in Filipino. So these are the items that you are going to take. Then you must have to get the passing rate, which is 25. So again, to compute the average, assuming that this score is definitely reflect to the things that they get in both subjects. So if we click this one, this is the sum. Usually when we talk about percentage, it is referred to 100. So assume that 91 is the 91% average of the student Dennis. So how to have this to make a remarks? Okay, so first and foremost, we were going to identify first what are the things that we need to view the remarks here. So first you determine. So we can also say that this will be pass or fail as our remarks, and we can also decide whether these remarks here will be yes or no. It depends upon us. So later we will discuss that one. So these are the two types of, when we say in if functions, we have these two reference type. We have the relative and absolute value. So in our laptop and computers, we just simply press F4 to have this dollar sign. In our cell phone and other tablet, we just put the dollar sign on the items that we were going to make an absolute value. Okay, so let's start. So to solve the f functions, if we try to find out the remarks, so we will start with this equal symbol, then write f, then we will put parentheses here, then on our logical numbers, we were going to click the average that we were going to compare. So this is F6. Then when we say F6 must be greater than or less than greater than or equal to this number. So if you got 75, it is equal. If you got more than 75, then it's greater than. So that's it. You will pass the test. So we were going to put past here, then apostrophe, comma, then another apostrophe, then we will write field, then apostrophe again, then we will put close parentheses, then click enter. So this particular field, the remarks is passed. Why? Because our passing rate is 75, then Dennis rather got 91. So he passed the examination. So essentially, if we drag it down to shorten the process, so it will this will be the result. But we will try to check whether this condition will be correct. So if we try to compare 68 average na, then the passing rate is 75. Why is that? The remarks is passed. So we will try to check the references. So if we try to look here, F10 is referred to this one and compared to B6. So hanapin natin yung B6 here. So nandito siya sa 22. Of course, papasa siya kasi 22 ang nire-referred na 25. Then this will be the cause of the problem if we try to use the fill down formula. Okay, buburahin natin to, then we will change that into, since that was relative value, we will change into absolute value. So paano natin gagawin? How to put absolute value in our formula? So we were going to put dollar signs here. So sa gilid, okay, the dollar symbol is here, and in between the B and 2, we'll put another dollar symbol. Then that will be on absolute value format. So when we talk about absolute value, it means that this B2 will be used as compared item to the rest of the items here in average in both students that taking the exams or exam. So afterwards, we were going to use the shortcut way, which is fill down. Yan, pag nag-darken black cross sign na siya, then we will release the button. Then we'll have to check it out. Field 68, of course, field yan. And that's it. That is the simplest way and smartest way to solve the problem by having this kind of formula. Okay, so these are the two reference type. If we use if we wish to use the relative type, then you were going to type all the formulas in that particular remarks. But in simplest way, if you put a relative absolute value here, then you need to compute every blank spaces that need to be filled in. Just simply drag it down. When you see this bold na cross symbol, then drag it down, release. Then that's it. Okay, so next, in this if function, we were going to make another complicated terms. So we will discuss or we will going to discuss the F nested function. Okay, so it is more complicated compared to the other F function. So if this is the case, so assume that you are going to take a scholarship. So the scholarship has 100 items based on the subject being taken. Math must be 25, English must be 25, Science and Filipino. So all in all, we have these 100 items. So the passing rate must be 85 and math score must be in 20. So possibly this is what we call the scholarship from engineering department or other schools that need to have higher scores in math. So these two qualification must be satisfied. Itong ating what we 85% passing rate, then the subject math must be also greater than 20 or equal to 20. If that's the case, if you qualified, if you pass all these requirements, then you will have the scholarship. Okay, so how to solve that in using the formula? So we were going to solve that in F nested functions. Okay, so again, we were going to make sure that you will have a pen and a paper in order to write some sort of the formula. So we will start with the equal symbol, F function, then open close parenthesis. We will click 91 as our average number. So greater or equal, where we're going to use greater or equal, then the passing rate, which is 85. Okay, since we have two comparing values that must be satisfied, we were going to put another if function here. So open close parentheses, then we will click the reference value of math in same person. Okay, then greater or equal, then also click this one as comparing value, then we will put equals a separator, which is comma, then apostrophe, we will put qualified, apostrophe, comma, apostrophe again, not qualified. Okay, so ayan. Then we will put close parenthesis here, then hit enter. So the description says that do you want to accept the correction. So class, it means that there is a corrections here. So how many parentheses that we were going to use? There are two F's that we applied in the formula. So in relation to our closing, we also need to have these two parentheses in our final. So kung dalawang ginamit natin dito, it must be dalawa din ang gagamitin natin as ender of our formulas. So we have now the answer. So of course, we have this qualified. As you can see, 91 is the average of Dennis. Then we have also math. 22 ang kuha na. Then compared to the requirements which need to pass 85 average and 20 points or 20 correct answers in math. So that is the requirement of the scholarship. So as we can see, Dennis is qualified to that scholarship. Again, so to shorten the process, we were going to put the dollar symbol here by pressing F4. So bakit sa B2 tayo naglalagay, hindi sa F7 or sa B7? Because B2 and B3 is the requirement need to be satisfied. So dyan magbe-base lahat. Based on the indicators that the requirements must have equal or greater than of what you have or what you got during the examination. Okay. So after din na atin na siyang na what we call this na absolute value, then that's the time we're going to use the autofill format. Okay? Drag it down. Drag it down. Okay. So as you can see here, may nagqualified, then may nagpo-false, may not qualified. So synonymously, itong false, definitely hindi siya qualified. Itong nagpo-false. So kasi ang ating sinusulat not qualified, but of course this is the given remarks that Microsoft Excel is intended to. Wala naman tayong intervention na ginawa. So, but still, if we try to look at the formula, hindi naman nagbago. Qualified, not qualified lang nilagay natin. Okay, so, that's it. Pero there is another thing that we need to use. If you are not really at ease with the reference number, we can also type the reference item number. So just like this, F7 is referred to the passing rate, which is B2. Ito type na lang natin dyan, which is 85. Pwede rin yan. So automatic absolute value yan. So ang comparing number natin sa math, you must have 20 correct answers. Ta-type lang natin yung 20 dyan. Pwede rin yan ganyan. Para naka-absolute value ka na rin. So, when we hit enter, then, we will drag it down. So, all the things that we are we're formulating the result, the same thing, tingnan natin, 20 and 85 lang din. Hindi naman nagbabago. Ang nagbabago lang is this comparing number, which is this one, F1, actually F7 up to F20. Yan. F7 up to F20. So, yung B natin, di siya nag-change din siya dito sa ating base na B. Pero yung ating comparing numbers, para na siyang naka-absolute value since we're not changing that into reference. We put the value on our formula. So that is the other way to solve the problem using this if nested function. I hope so that you have something to learn about this formula, and of course you will apply that to your activity that I'm posted in our Google Classroom. So that's it, and I hope so that it will guide you in your activity. This is advanced skills of nested function, and I'm hoping that everybody will turning in their activities, and I'm looking forward to that since we are almost done with our third quarter. So goodbye and good luck. Ingat-ingat kayo. Then do not forget to chat me or inform me if you do so or you have something difficulties in applying this formula to your activity. Good luck. God bless. Mabuhay kayo. This is your teacher, Junifer Genzan. Have a blessed day sa inyong lahat.